let us hear from our beloved Auntie Kuuipo.
Aloha kako.
Aloha.
I was a student at Kamehameha when Hawaii became a state. And for us, it was a really cool thing because we got the rest of the day off from school. When I was at Kamehameha, and this was in the 50s and 60s, we were never taught how Hawaii became a state. We were never taught the overthrow of the Hawaiian monarchy. We were never taught the lessons of how Hawaii was annexed. We were never taught any of that stuff. It wasn't in our history books. I had no Hawaiian teachers at Kamehameha School. We never learned the language. We couldn't dance the hula unless it was noho hula. We were taught very strict Western-style schooling, and I don't regret that because Kamehameha truly made me the person I am today. The skills we learned, how we took care of ourselves. I went to Kamehameha when I was 12 years old. I boarded. So you take a Nanakuli kid and you put him in a boarding school. It was like culture shock, right? Totally haole. Coming from a very strong homestead family, it was really difficult for me. For a lot of the kids that came, because that was the first time we were away from our families, as young as we were. But we learned how to take care of ourselves. I had hair past my knee at the time. I couldn't take care of my hair. That wasn't my job. I had an older sister. That was her job. So when I went to Kamehameha, all that hair got cut off. That was my choice because I never learned to do it. And it was Kamehameha that taught me all of the leadership skills I have today. But unfortunately, we didn't learn about that stuff. I didn't learn about the history of Hawaii until like Cheryl later on in the years when I became a single parent. My choice again. Got rid of the husband, kept the kids. But at that time, all this sovereignty stuff was going on in Hawaii. And we were so green up here, we didn't know, why are these Hawaiians so angry? What are they doing? You know, throwing themselves in front of bulldozers, really marching down the streets, and what is this all about? And that's when I began to read the history of Hawaii and read how the monarchy was overthrown, how our queen was put in prison, how the annexation happened, how Hawaii became a state, and I became very angry. And so when we watch these sovereignty people, I used to look at those crazy Hawaiians, you know, what are they doing next? But they had a point and they had a passion. I didn't totally support the way they handle things because living in California, there are ways that you address issues, and for me, the way the Hawaiians were doing it was wrong. There was, you know, there's a better way to solve problems than throwing yourself in front of a bulldozer, or like one of the aunties told us recently, dumping cement in your water meter because you refused to pay the water bill. That was real funny when she told us, but when you think about the actions that they took and you feel their anger and their passion, you can understand. If you know the history of Hawaii, you would be angry. As Hawaiians, you would be very angry at how Hawaiians were treated. And you look at other minority groups and how they're treated, and you can relate the passion and the pain. But if we take all of that and we continue to be angry, it's like I told Kaulana the other day, if you let that kakio fester, kakio is not a nice word if you guys know what that word means, it serves no purpose. And then if you look at the advancement of Hawaiians in the last 50 years, how proud we are as Native Hawaiians. When I grew up in my generation, it was go to school, get married, have kids, that was it. That was enough. Today you're seeing young people graduate as doctors and lawyers, akamai young people, great leaders, and you're very proud of the Native Hawaiian people today. They're moving forward. They're fighting uphill battles that they've fought from day one, a lot of them way before we came into the picture. And you have to love your people. We do what we do in our community because we love our Hawaiian people. We on the continent have so much to offer as help to our people in Hawaii. We have gone home to coalition meetings in Hawaii and have really been blasted for living on the continent. They've treated us like we're not Hawaiian. But by the time those coalition meetings were finished, and Analu and myself and Margaret went to them regularly, they became more aware of our concern for them. And if they were really akamai, and if they really understood the process of how we can help them as people in California, our congressional delegation just totally wipes out Hawaii's floor in Congress. And what a resource we are for them if they would just take advantage of that and help us to help them by allowing us that privilege and that honor to be their voice in California to our congressional people to support the bills that Hawaii wants to see passed in Congress. When they talk about the Akaka bill and how that's wrong, right now the Akaka bill is the only game in town. We see it as a foot in the door. It's not perfect, but there's nothing else out there. So personally, I support the Akaka bill because it is the only thing at the table right now. But I have a great passion for our Native Hawaiian people. I'm very proud to be Hawaiian. I'm proud of the advancement Hawaiians have made in the last 50 years. The hula came back, the language came back. Music in Hawaii, I mean, there are Grammy Awards now for Hawaiian music that never happened before. So Hawaiians have accomplished a lot. I just hope that at some point they will come together, like Cheryl said, as one people working towards the betterment of Native Hawaiians, which is what we should all be doing. And, but just a message to Hawaii that we haven't forgotten our ohana in Hawaii. We all have family in Hawaii, and we're there for them. From California, we send our aloha and our help, and you know, we hope that they will recognize that and use our resources that we have here to help.
Maikai, anake.